This is HeKnowsFitness, bringing you that heat and that fire. All right, y'all. We keeping the foot on the what? On the necks. We keeping the foot on the what? On the necks. And like the Tibetan mastiff that I am, I'm applying what? Unlimited pressure. Because pressure does what? It bursts pipes. This right here goes back to the debate that I had last week. And I call it the Super Chess Match debate with Tom Ross TV. This is what I was talking about. And the prediction king strikes again. And the prediction king strikes again. I told you guys, man. You guys have to understand what the ultimate form of competition is about. HeKnowsFitness is a competitor extraordinaire like nobody's business. Let me say it again. HeKnowsFitness is a competitor extraordinaire like nobody's business. I don't ever believe I'm second to nobody. I always believe somebody's second to me. So I understand that maniacal, that diabolical, that basically what we would say psychological level of competition, man. MJ is the highest variation of that. And I understand it at my level. Because I don't feel nobody's on my level. That's just the way that I feel. That's the way that I roll. And when you are like that, you basically make people, because of the strong physical presence that you command, the true alpha extraordinaire characteristics that you showcase, you make people bend the fucking knee. That's what Jordan was trying to tell, or not trying to. That's what he said when he talked about the glove. And it was like the glove, he just sat there and go, come on, man, don't play with me. I got other problems that I'm dealing with. The glove is not that problem. Let me say it again. I got 99 problems, and the glove ain't one of them. Because when you know the competition is beneath you, you don't have to sit there and look at your competition, dog. It's basically like Jay-Z said, I'm not looking at you, dude. I'm looking past you, dog. Let me say it again. I'm not looking at you, dude. I'm looking past you. MJ is a competitor of nobody's business, dog. There's not a competitor that can compete with him. The only likes of it was Kobe Bean Bryant. He was the only one. He was the one that had the gall and the umption and the audacity to tell a Reggie Miller, if he's Black Jesus and he's the black cat, and you call me the caramel cat. Let me say it again. Black Jesus. This dude's a man. I'm the caramel cat. That's what you're going to call me. Basically, Kobe was giving Reggie Miller the verbal bending of the fucking knee. Bending of the knee is not telling somebody to literally bend the knee. We're not talking about a deity complex here. We're not talking about a religious thing. We're not talking about, a pious thing where somebody has to physically bend the knee to you because you are their Lord and Savior, or you are their godlike figure. We're not talking about that. God forbid. We're talking about winners and we're talking about losers. Let me say it again. We're talking about winners and we're talking about losers. So when you hear bending of the knee, the bending of the knee is basically the subservient position that you take as the loser, and the rising to the occasion that you take as the winner. Let me say it again. The subservient position that you take as the loser, and the rising of the occasion that you take as a winner. MJ is a winner personified. He doesn't feel that he has no competitors because he's his own competitor. Let me say that again, because let that marinate in the corpus callosum and in the cerebellum. Hear me and hear me. Well, it's like he knows his sport. When I go into debate mode and I'm master debating, I have no competitors because I don't feel nobody can compete on my level. The best you can do is stalemate. That's it. And that's if I'm having my worst day, or if I'm not even on my stuff, dog. The best you can do is stalemate me, dog. And if you're good enough to stalemate me, shout outs to Tom Ross TV, then that's the best you can do. But ain't nobody defeating HeKnowsFitness, dog. Because I'm bringing what? That heat and that fire. And I'm keeping the foot on the what? On the necks. I'm keeping the foot on the what? On the necks. That ultra, true alpha, extraordinaire mentality. It didn't just get birthed out of nowhere. It was something that's ingratiated in me. It's embedded theology. It's genetics. That's the same thing for MJ23. It's genetics. It's embedded in him. People are wired a certain way. So I can understand that wiring that MJ has, because I have that same level of wiring. And I know it pisses some people off and it gets on some people's nerves and it gets them hot and bothered like grits. But the most successful people in this planet, on this world, they all have a certain level of an ego. That's just the way it rolls. You know why? Because that ego drives them. It drives them to success. It drives them to be maniacal. It drives them to basically take themselves to a level that nobody else is taking themselves to. Because the mountain at the top is lonely. It's lonely at the top of the mountain. And MJ understands that at his level. Just like he knows the sport understands that at his level, MJ understands that at his level. And that's why Gary Payton was always going to get Ramelette. Now, I got some issues with Stephen A. Smith. Coming out of the mouth and getting slide to the mouth and talking about Scottie Pippen with the migraines, talking about Scottie Pippen basically not playing, you know what I'm saying, because of contract situation, and then Scottie Pippen and the whole Tony Kukoc situation. I have an issue with that. Because why are you denigrating Scottie Pippen? A player has a right to talk about their contract when they're not getting paid what they're supposed to get paid. He went all of those years basically paying pennies on the dollars and performing at a high level and winning championships on top of championships on top of championships. We're not talking about a guy that was just there. We're talking about the ultimate number 2, the ultimate beta, dog. We're talking about the ultimate high-octane beta variation, the one that the ultimate high-octane betas and betas need to go to his school and learn beta shit. That was Scottie Pippen at his truest and his most properest levels. He taught his beta shit at its best of the best of the best. So what are you talking about, Stephen A. Smith? This is what I'm talking about when I say LBJ Riders Media, LBJ Brigade, LBJ Apologists, and LBJ Stance. You can't sit here and give MJ credit and then denigrate and disrespect Scottie Pippen. Because if there's no Scottie Pippen, there's no MJ, man. MJ doesn't win without Scottie Pippen. Anybody that knows basketball knows this. Scottie Pippen was the best defender on the Chicago Bulls. Scottie Pippen is arguably a top 3 defender of all time. I got him number 1, and I got Gary Payton number 2. That's how I rank it in terms of defense. Then you could juggle between a Joe Dumars, you know what I'm saying, and you could possibly, you know what I'm saying, juggle in the air and think, you know, there's other defenders out there that you could think about. But I don't even want to open that can of worms, because if I open that can of worms, then I'm going to have to talk about other defenders and things of that nature. But the topic is not about that. I'll talk about them in another video. But the truth of the fact of the matter is, Scottie Pippen to me is the greatest defender the NBA has ever seen. Because of his length, his size, his ability to get at the ball. This man could rip you up straight up, dog. He's the best at ripping you up one man-to-man defense because of his ability to have the knack at the basketball. I ain't seen a defender have that knack the way he's had it. But you gonna sit there and disrespect him? All the stuff that he's done for the Chicago Bulls? Come on. And then to sit here and say, well, Scottie Pippen was pouting and acting like a little kid, and Scottie Pippen was sitting there and he was just not being respectful to the situation, and Scottie Pippen was just saying, I'm not going to play, I'm going to miss. He has a right to do that. Because LeBron James has done this pouting nonsense. Have you gotten on him? When he made the decision, and when he sat there and went back and forth with Dan Gilbert, and the situation that he did with the Miami Heat when he left them high and dry. Come on, man. Keep that same energy, dog. Let me say it again. Keep that same energy. How you going to get on not get on LeBron, but you going to get on Scottie Pippen? They don't make no sense. And Scottie Pippen has a right to feel some type of way about the Tony Kukoc situation, because when Michael Jordan left, the team should have clearly been his. Let me say it again. When Michael Jordan left, the team should have clearly been his. Scottie Pippen got an ego too. And Jordan's not there. There's no more time for him to be in beta role. He feels he should be the number 1 position. So what are you talking about again, Stephen A. Smith? But what you guys saw in these 2 episodes, you saw the mastermind of an MJ23. You saw how his mental operated. And that's what the point that I was trying to drive home in the last Super Chess match debate that I had. When you operate on that level, and nobody's on your level, bend the fucking knee. It's that simple. Isaiah Thomas is 2 for 2. Meaning he got 2 NBA titles, 2 NBA Finals MVP. Jordan got 6 titles, 6 NBA Finals MVPs. He's 3 times the vernacular of Isaiah Thomas. Isaiah Thomas would have to do 3 times what he did to be on MJ's level. Bend the fucking knee. 6 for 6. Never let that thing go to 7, dog. 6 NBA Finals. Absolution. 100% in terms of domination. I mean, how high of competition level can you get past that? How much higher? How can you be more competitive than that? How can you show more zeal and exuberance than that? See, that's what you classic dose and you troglodytes need to understand. That's what you Rudy Poo and you plum plum brains need to understand. That's what you ultra fanboys with the ultra fanboy rhetoric need to understand. MJ is the ultimate competitor. If you go and open the NBA 50 book, it tells you that. He's the ultimate competitor. Do you know why? The one that has the ultimate assassin's mentality? Because this guy is willing to win. Just look at the way he walked in the hallway into the locker room at the end of the game. Look at his emotions. It's as if you thought he was crying over a situation like he lost a family member, man. That's what competitiveness is all about. Anyone that understands it, like he knows the sport, you understand when you compete at that level, you ain't practicing no more, dog. You either got it or you don't. Let me say it again. You ain't practicing no more. You either got it or you don't. And MJ ain't practicing at that level, man. He has that mentality. That's what I mean when I say you ain't practicing no more. You either got it or you don't. Shout out to Eric Thomas, the great mentor. He's the one that says that terminology. MJ understands the sprint is saturated, but the marathon is not. And when you operate on that level of competitiveness, you operate in marathon form. You're willing to go where nobody else is willing to go, and you're going to keep going and going and going and going like an Energizer bunny, man. I got to ride on a little bit for this one, man, because I told you guys, man, don't ever in your life compare LeBron James to Michael Jordan. This is a whole new level, dog. Like Meek Mill said, there's levels to this shit, man. There's gears. MJ's on a whole nother different gear because his mentality as a basketball player supersedes the mentality of basketball. Because this is the fiber of the DNA of who he is as an individual. What I said was so deep and profound. Let me rewind that because that needs to marinate in the corpus callosum and in the cerebellum. Hear me? And hear me? Wow. Michael Jeffrey Jordan. His mentality is not a basketball mentality. It's a self mentality. It's a mentality that's been ingrained in him, ingratiated in him. It's who he is. It's the fiber of his being. So when you see him tell a teammate to rise themselves up to the occasion, like Brian Windhorst or Brian Wynn, LBJ nutsack riders trying to tell you, oh, Michael Jordan and his relationship with Steve Kerr shows you a character flaw. That's a LBJ Riders media agenda nonsense. Don't listen to that crap. That's a guy that's just trying to find a way to denigrate MJ and denigrate his status in terms of him being the NBA GOAT because they can't stand the fact that they can't touch him. There's nothing you could touch. Even Max Kellerman said, based on MJ's resume of absolution, you can't put nobody above him. I'm glad Max Kellerman said that, and he gets 5 points for that. But here's the bottom line, and here's the caveat, folks. The truth of the fact of the matter is this. You have to look at the underlying currents of this. Why did Brian Wynn nutsack or LBJ nutsack rider come out of his mouth and say that nonsense? Because what they don't understand is when you compete at that level, you demand people to rise themselves to that level, to that occasion. That was the same way Kobe Bryant was cut. It's maximizing you so that you can be the best version or the best variation of yourself. MJ and Kobe know you can't be no damn MJ and Kobe, but they want you to be the best variation or the best version of yourself. Didn't it pay off dividends? Didn't when Michael Jordan passed the ball to Steve Kerr, Steve Kerr made the shot? So that means his leadership style was effective. It worked. Yeah, it scared the life out of Steve Kerr, but it scared the life out of him in the right way because he needed that. And what was the rest of his NBA career because of that situation with MJ? Excellence on top of excellence on top of excellence. What did he do with the San Antonio Spurs? He delivered the goods. He was able to hit those shots because MJ got on that ass. MJ ride that ass, and MJ ensured that he was going to step up to the plate and deliver the way he was supposed to deliver. That's what competitiveness is about. We're not here to make friends. This is what ultra competitiveness is about. We're not here to tell you what you want to hear. We're here to tell you what you need to hear. Let me say it again. We're not here to tell you what you want to hear. We're here to tell you what you need to hear. That's MJ's mentality. That's how he approached the game of basketball. And people need to put respect on that highest form of competitiveness. That's the same thing when he knows the sport platform. I'm the ultimate truth teller, and I come in cold-hearted, unadulterated, cutthroat truth teller fashion. So when I have live streams, you better be on your A game. You better be on point. Because if you're not, I'm going to call you out to the damn carpet. And I'm going to say, something smells wrong over here. We smelling something that ain't right. Because at this level, we see any and every little microcosm and microscopic mistake. And we expose that for what it is. Because truth tellers don't follow media narratives. Truth tellers don't follow the media's agenda. Because it's LBJ Riders version. It's LBJ Apologist version. It's LBJ Stance version. And it's LBJ, what we would say, Brigade version. We don't got time for that. That's Rudy Poor and Plum Brain stuff. Classic Doden Troglodyte stuff. Ultra fanboy with the ultra fanboy rhetoric stuff. It's cult-like following stuff. And we got to call that thing out for what it is. We got to call a spade a what? A spade. Keep that thing real. Keep it a buck and keep it 100. MJ is the ultimate competitor. There's no basketball player that can be compared to him except for the likes of a KB24 Kobe Bean Bryant, because he put in the work. Kobe Bryant not only put in the work, he deserved it. It came out of MJ's mouth on his 50th birthday when he was being interviewed by Ahmad Rashad. He said Kobe deserves the comparison. He put in the work. He is cursed just as much as I am cursed, because MJ understands what Kobe is doing on the basketball court, or what he was doing. Because he understood that Kobe Bryant was willing to go where he was willing to go to a place that only MJ was willing to go to, and nobody else. That's what ultimate competition is about. Always knowing that you have no competitors and that you're willing to outwork. Because I will not be outworked. That's what you saw in episode 7 and 8. That's why you see HeKnowsFitness is a bit more animated in this video. You know why? Because then the prediction king strikes again. All right. And the prediction king strikes again. Because what you guys realize in Yoda fashion is everything HeKnowsFitness says always gets confirmed thereafter. Because I'm Sun Tzu, aka Art of War. 7 steps ahead of the damn game, dog. I keep telling y'all this stuff, man. You guys think this is just something that just poop up out of my ass? No. And people love the HeKnowsFitness confidence, dog. Because you know why? It didn't just get birthed out of nowhere. It's the fiber and the DNA of who I am. It's my makeup. Ultimate competitors know ultimate competitors. And if you guys see, there's a reason why I root for certain people. Because they emulate or they represent my mentality. It's not because of them. Y'all didn't catch that, dog. It had nothing to do with them. Anyone that knows me personally or anyone that knows me more expressly would be able to tell you that. It has nothing to do with them. It's because they represent or they emulate something of who I am and the way that I'm made up. I'm the ultimate competitor. Anyone that knows that knows me. I'm competitive like nobody's business. I compete at every fucking thing. And when I compete, I don't feel like I'm second to no damn body. So I'm going to root for people that like that. The Michael Jordans of the world. The Kobe Bryants of the world. The Tom Brady's of the world. It is what it is. It's slice and dice. The Kevin Durant's of the world. That's what I'm going to root for because I see that in them. I see that ultimate competitor. And I appreciate that. Because it's a characteristic that I have and I see it in somebody else and I can respect that. And that's what MJ was. A ultimate competitor. A true assassin's mentality basketball player. And you guys got to put respect on his name. Like Birdman said, dog. Put respect on that name. Episode 7 and episode 8, it gave everyone goosebumps. You know why I did that? Because it showcased the differential between what a true competitor looks like and an abysmal 3-for-9 NBA Finals 33% NBA performer averager looks like. Big difference. One is about winning and one talks about winning. Let me say it again. One is about winning and one talks about winning. So I love episode 7 and 8. But HeKnowsFitness had to give his variation and his differential of it because I'm sick and tired of the nonsense. So stop the presses and pump the brakes on the nonsense. Go sit down somewhere. What? Higgity fucking hush. MJ's the ultimate competitor. And you guys saw that. And he was willing to do whatever it took. Even if he had to hob. Even if he had to have that flu. Even if he had to just do whatever. He was willing to do whatever it takes to win. And something like that has to be admired. This is why you see so many people have gotten behind MJ in terms of what he's brought to the table from a competitive standpoint. This is why he studied in school. This is why Kobe Bryant became his understudy. He became the student. Because you gotta gravitate towards something like that. If you have a competitive mindset and a competitive spirit, even if it's not an ultra competitive mindset, you gravitate towards that. Because you understand what that means. You understand the level of sacrifice it takes. You understand where this person is willing to go. Many people are not willing to go. And that's MJ's mentality. This is why I'm sick and tired of this comparison between Michael Jordan and LeBron James. It should not be a comparison, period. Because you have a guy that's filled with absolution, 100% NBA Finals average and winning, and a guy that's an abysmal 3-for-9 NBA Finals performer. 33%. That means MJ's a lion's share of 67% more in terms of NBA Finals winning percentage than LeBron James. How can that be compared as NBA GOAT status? Kobe would be the more fair comparison because Kobe's operating at 71.4% NBA Finals average. You see what I'm talking about? You Rudy Poo and you Plum Plum Brain, you classic Dose and you Trogo Dice, you ultra fanboys with the ultra fanboy rhetoric. I don't normally do a video this long, but I had to ride like Tupac. I had to ride on my enemies because when it's all said and done, put respect on MJ23's name, the ultimate competitor. Ain't nobody seeing him. It's really that simple, folks. This is HeKnowsFitness. Checking out.